The Nuts and Bolts of Writing, Season 2, a podcast where we talk about literature, the ins and outs of writing, and how to actually start writing.
Hey there, everybody, it's your girl DePunk. It's just me again with another review. For this particular episode, we are reviewing Journey. Yes. So without further ado, let us jump into Journey. Many games boast stunning graphics, smooth gameplay, and immersive world building with a Class A system in place. Some games boast a lengthy playtime, securing its playable value in the gaming community. Still, other games hone in on the interactive perspectives, perfecting the multiplayer mode and rendering gameplay a memorable team experience. But there are games that are more subtle, games that don't seem overly complicated. In fact, you could say these games seem simplistic. Simplistic in terms of concept, design, graphics, and even gameplay. These games don't necessarily feature a 72-hour gameplay multiplayer mode, or even layered lore. Some games stand out through profound simplicity. One such game is 2012's Journey from That Game Company. Devoid of complicated world building, fighting system, or cinematic cutscenes, Journey presented a refreshingly simple concept. You play as a traveler, a being from a group of people who all must embark on a journey of trials combined with thought-provoking balance of peril and triumph. And you, as the player or traveler, learn of your civilization's past, which was eroded, and therefore the people have to take a journey to regain their former glory. Or not even that, just an ascension. The design was very streamlined. It definitely was refreshing with its streamlined concepts. Incorporating elements from the Middle Eastern cultures, including ancient Mesopotamia, Journey's artistic design gave the players a fresh look and fascinating world to explore. While most of the location were desert ruins, each location is playfully or poignantly punctuated by the elements of flight giving tapestries. Each tapestry is a fragment that must be united with other fragments to give the player the full potential of flight or access to the exit point so the player can ascend to the next level. And these are also pretty fascinating. The tapestry fragments also seemed semi sentient. This added sort of a assuring ambiance to the game. It also filled it with wonder. The next to last levels were different, however. Set in subterranean locations, these levels were darker, intensifying in difficulty, and surprising the player with unexpected and deadly opponents in form of great titanic creatures. These creatures acted as both adversaries and sentinels, either trying to stop you, the player, from completing your journey, or testing the player's mettle before they could ascend to the next level. But the main element that Journey overall imparted to its player, aside from a much needed respite of quiet contemplation, was a subtle form of companionship. Throughout the game, the idea that we cannot thrive while alone is conveyed in every aspect. From the tapestry fragments to solving the mechanics of the more complex temple structures, teamwork and unity are shown as the key to ascension. In some levels, you can encounter another player from the platform. While nameless until the end, you and the other player can help one another solve the puzzles, guide each other through the seemingly inescapable landscape, or help with direction or flight power. This was a very unique concept. It should also be noted that, in many ways, the silent, almost anonymous nature of the companion, in many ways, kind of parallel how online friendships form. It's very easy to judge online friendships as something that could be superficial, But in all honesty, how much of ourselves is online? A lot of it is. I think it's safe to say that, in our post millennial world, most of our genuine selves are online. We no longer hide behind the masks of, the very early millennial type, which isn't to say that, you know, deception or whatnot still doesn't exist. But I think, in all honesty, the majority of us are pretty honest and we share openly about our lives. And maybe in how lonely the postmodern world is, we need that friend. And online friendships can often be a lifeline for many people. I myself have personally experienced that. I have enjoyed and been so richly lucky, like one in a million people, to have such a good and strong, close friendship of a friend that I had met online. And this game, with its concept of companionship and taking direction in life to take a journey, is pretty much what set in motion for my own journey to happen. But the main takeaway from Journey is that Journey shows the real concept that we as humans cannot exist nor survive without relying on one another. Being a loner jeopardizes one's survival and success. As the old saying goes, man is not an island. And that's very true. We may try to be loners, we may, feel dissatisfied with society as a whole or whatever. But at the end of the day, what really keeps us alive, what really makes life worth living, the rich core of life itself, what gives it definition, is our relationships. It's our friendships. We don't get to choose our family, but we do choose our friends. And sometimes our friends choose us. And that's the best thing in the world. There is probably nothing greater in life than having a friend and going on a journey with a friend. Because the journey that is traveled with a friend, it's it's a life well lived. And this game resonated a parallel within me. It set in motion for a lot of things. Journey, it's not something that a lot of people talk about. I think it's a, severely underrated game, needs more love. But beginning last summer, let me explain how this game really resonated a deep change in my life. Last summer, my life stood at a turning point. Being in retail, working long hours in crazy conditions, paying bills, rent, every bill under the sun, groceries, trying to economize and budget in this crazy economy. It leaves you exhausted. You just come home with nothing else to do but, trying to do something to give my life purpose. I was trying to do creating, but it didn't bring me the satisfaction I was looking for. And my life sank into a stagnant, deadening depression. My body and mind felt trapped. My friend and mentor, Fortunate Games, helped me come a far away from what I once was. But now it was time for me to start my own journey. And watching the traveler take on their journey, even though sometimes they didn't know what they were doing, where they were going, it was beautiful to see this. Um, I felt very much like the traveler, just kind of wandering through the desert, not knowing where something lied or understood something or knew what the next step was. I was very fortunate, just like in the game, to encounter another traveler, which is my friend Fortunate Games, who are also, they are, also taking a journey. So that summer, after we played Journey, she introduced me to it. I also downloaded it on Steam and I played it as well. I did a lot of gaming that summer. I really got into Journey. I didn't finish it. I need to finish the last level. I need to overcome that. But I also got into, several other games, but Journey impacted me the most. And after we played Journey, I, like the traveler, made my first journey. For the first time, I traveled by myself to another country. It had been many years since I had traveled. I had never really gone outside of my town. Something like going to Harrisburg State College is a big trip. Um, but I went to another country by myself. I flew up to Canada after a lot of careful planning and going through all the, loops and hoops of it all. Um, and I got my passport, which really changed my life. It really set a lot of things in motion, and it's a necessity. So if you guys can get a passport, please do. It'll open a lot of things for you. But anyway, I flew up to Canada to visit Fortunist Games. Like I said, my closest friend and creative partner. And when I arrived to Canada, it was it was such a profound meeting. It really, really was. I have no words to describe that, except it's like the relief and ecstasy, like when you're playing Journey and you see a traveler that is the same as you. That is how I felt. It felt a little bit deeper than that, but because I knew who Fortunate was, it's not like, but there's just that thing of, I think C.S. Lewis said it the best. When it comes to a best friend, it's where you say something like, "Oh, you think that too," or "I thought I was the only one." But then you meet somebody who, maybe has that same wavelength as you do. And speaking of wavelengths, that's another beautiful thing about Journey, is that when you meet your friend is helping you, like gain flight power, guide you through the directions. Um, but yes, I'm at Fortunate's Games, and we also went on our own journey. She guided me through the beautiful city of Toronto. I still love Toronto. I want to come back and see you again, Toronto. I love you, Toronto. Um, and she also guided me through the beautiful Richmond Hill. Wonderful, wonderful place. Wonderful shopping, wonderful restaurants, exquisite heaven. Went to Ottawa. Challenging but interesting. I will compare Ottawa to one of the subterranean levels where there is a like this creature chasing you. But Ottawa was fascinating as well. And Kingston was very, very beautiful. We stayed at a beautiful bread and breakfast inn, wonderful Secret Garden Inn, beautiful place. Um, but you know what? It wasn't so much the locations. It was the fact that I went on a journey with a friend, and it was the fact that I had learned a lot about myself during that time. Um, my friend revealed to me a lot of things. Um, it came to so many realizations of becoming a new person. When they say that travel changes you, it's not a cliche. It's not a marketing ploy. It's true. Travel does change you, and travel will change you all the more if you're doing it with a very close friend. Like I said, there are a few things in life as profound as having a best friend. It's what completes life. It's what grounds life, makes it all the more clear for you. But this journey alone set in motion the catalyst of changing my life completely. And like the traveler, the first journey led to new levels. That is, events that launched my own ascension, all with the guidance of a friend that's also on their own journey. Journey resonated with me deeply. It reverberated right down to my core. Playing as the traveler, the silence gave me ample time for meditation. It also made me reconsider my purpose in life. When I traveled and met my closest friend face to face, I kid you not when I say it was the most enlightening experience of my life. My friend made me realize that I had purpose, I had validity, and my life needed to take direction. And after this journey, my friend helped me begin a new one, my journey to higher education. It's a rocky path filled with challenges and obstacles. Another challenge emerged, this time in the form of loss. Much like the traveler realizing the loss of their people's livelihoods, I lost my father. But from this grief, my determination was renewed stronger than before. I was determined to go to university and earn my undergrad. Now, 3 weeks from now, I will be attending my first ever semester at Point Park University. It's a journey replete with many journeys contained within. It's fraught with uncertainties, perils, and triumphs. But none of this would have been possible without the guidance and encouragement from my friend. And that's the main takeaway from something like Journey. I think a lot of times in our very complicated media embedded world where we're just bombarded with, sensory flashing and explosions and actions and layers and lores and canons and multiverses and franchise sequels and hidden meanings and Easter eggs, sometimes the profound power of a simple story, and maybe a story told through a single image or a single idea, can be refreshing. And maybe it's good that we take time to meditate on that mindfulness and be aware of how we are to find our place in this life and how that we are all on a journey, but it should never be done alone. It's like the old saying, it's dangerous to go alone, take this. Well, it's dangerous to go alone. Make sure that you find a friend, and you never know where you're going to find that friend. It may be a random meeting, maybe just under your nose. You will be like the traveler. You'll probably climb up this fragmented bridge, and there you see a little glimpse of a red cloak, and you realize, oh my gosh, another traveler like me. And then you join them, and you realize that you're on the same path as well. Maybe that path is different. Maybe it's not necessarily the same thing. Like maybe it's like, say, for example, maybe not the same job or the same goals. But the fact is, if both of you are striving for a goal, or many of you, maybe you have multiple travelers with you. That's all the better. Um, it makes us realize that we do not accomplish anything solitary. It is all give and take too. I mean, there are times in the game where you have to help the person guiding you as well. And it's important to see that reciprocity. And I think Journey imparts a very profound, resonating message. And that message is that journeys are never embarked alone. We all journey through life with someone, just as we journey with them on theirs. Journey, the game itself, imparted a life changing impact of realization. Journey was essentially a wake up call for me to take direction. Journey set a flame in my mind to take the first step of the journey. All thanks to my beloved friend. And Journey has imparted the most simple but important message: life is a journey never traveled alone. I definitely give this 10 out of 10 stars. It's a beautiful game. If you have a chance to play it, please play it. And I think it will make you think a lot about everything in life. And the ending will definitely move you. I know it did me. I cried, and it it's led to a lot of things, and I'm very grateful for it. I'm grateful for my friend introducing it to me, and I'm grateful for the real life parallels it has. So that's my review for Journey. This is your girl Tete signing off on the Nuts and Bolts of Writing podcast. All of you guys stay golden, stay safe, and I will see you guys in the next review episode.